Thank you, Clean Fuels and Jerry Lane Chevrolet, for having us here today. Because you're probably wondering, why is General Motors here? That's okay. I'm going to walk you through that. A little bit about myself. I am part of General Motors. Started out as a chemical engineer, so Lake Charles and the Gulf Coast near and dear to me, but somehow sidetracked into automotive and just loved it so much I kept on going. So over 20 years at General Motors, all sorts of experience through manufacturing, product development, corporate strategy. But now the biggest challenge that we have is really getting buy-in to our all-electric future. At General Motors, we believe in a world where there are zero crashes, zero congestion, and most importantly, zero emissions. We believe electric vehicles are the key to unlocking those goals. So strategies are needed to get customers, dealers, to buy into what we're selling here and really accelerate the overall EV adoption curve. GM Energy is a startup within General Motors. We're focused on unlocking new value out of that electric vehicle purchase. It begins with building out solutions for every type of customer in every community that we have, whether it's a residential customer looking to get their home set up for charging their electric vehicle, or a commercial and fleet customer who want to electrify their fleet and need solutions for depot or energy storage to get them going and make their fleets more sustainable. We are going to help customers get solutions to accelerate their EV charging adoption. The path to this is by developing a full suite of a product ecosystem that takes advantage of not only the vehicle, but also the great expertise that we have within our engineering and partnerships that'll allow us to really scale the business and provide those solutions as quickly as possible to our customers. And of course, it's not just about the electric vehicle, it's the entire experience. So we're committed to building out education and engagement programs that will show customers that EV ownership is super easy and it's going to unlock more value for them in the future. So I think we're going to start with the anxieties that are out there that are really hindering the transition. And one of the things I hear the most is, well, where am I going to charge this? It's not like a gas station. Chargers aren't everywhere. How am I going to get by? And there are solutions out there already. What we need to do is just bring awareness and show that we are going to be part of the solution to grow the EV car park exponentially in the future. So let's start with public charging. Public charging is scary. It sucks sometimes. It's not the same as filling up at a gas station, but that's okay. Getting into an electric vehicle is a different mindset, and you've got to be ready for that as you make the transition. We're committed to improving the public charging experience. We want to build a convenient and seamless solution for all of our customers that makes public charging very easy to find, very easy to access, and at the same time is a reliable solution. Well, let's just get one thing out of the way. You're not going to be doing all of your charging out in public. Over 80% of the average electric vehicle charging is going to be done at home. Over 60% of dwellings in the United States are single-family homes. So that would be the majority of the customers that we're looking for. Yes, there are big problems when it comes to multi-unit dwellings, condos, apartments, those that don't have access to install a charger. And that's going to be the most difficult nut to crack when it comes to creating options for them at their dwellings. There are solutions that are on their way. Various governments, landlords, commercial establishments are trying to figure that out. But while they do that, We don't want to hold anyone back from getting into an electric vehicle. And that's where public charging access comes to the forefront. There are a lot of chargers out there today, but people don't know how to get to them. As the EV car park continues to grow, the need for public charging beyond just the folks that are in condos and apartments is going to grow, because I'm not going to do all my commuting within the local area. There are going to be times when you want to go on that road trip where you need to drive cross country. So how can we help instill confidence that you will have access to charging when you make that journey? There are government dollars out there now that you'll hear about later that are starting to flow. Each state is handling it differently. It doesn't necessarily translate into chargers appearing this year, next year. There is still a lot of red tape out there to make this happen. So what we want to do is really be part of the solution to help grow access to these new chargers by making strategic investments where they count the most. Beyond access to the chargers, the other thing that sucks about it is they don't work. There are people out there who have driven electric vehicles, and I'm positive at least one of you out there, if not all, have gone to a public charger and it doesn't work, or you can't get it to work, and you're sitting there calling an 800 number trying to figure it out, or waiting for another vehicle to leave so you can charge. Extremely frustrating. That's not okay. But we know that there are companies out there that are operating reliable networks. So what we need to do is figure out how can we all work together to increase reliability as a whole. Those same people who have found the broken charger may have also got to a charging site and realized there's a line of 2-3 vehicles waiting for the chargers. And some of the vehicles that charge at slower speeds take a lot longer to charge. So it's more time wasted. And I'm sure your time is money. The money that is flowing out needs to help increase the density of chargers at these stations as well. And last but not least, my most frustrating pain point is when you're out in public, you got to pay, right? I think we all understand that. But why should I have to download a different app for every charging solution that's out there and give them my payment information and then have 12 different apps on my phone just to access public charging? It's a huge frustration to myself, probably to others who drive electric vehicles. There's got to be a better way. And I don't come to you here with just problems. I come with solutions. So as we build out our public charging strategy in the United States, we want to address those two major pain points: access and reliability. When it comes to access, we're contributing to growing the electric vehicle charging infrastructure in the United States. 2.5 years ago, we announced a project with EVgo to build out public charging in 50 metros across the United States. We're over halfway completed on that project and looking forward to really getting the last stations out there. We recently announced filling in the gaps on the coast-to-coast corridors, including the Houston to New Orleans corridor where we are now. Our project with Pilot Flying J and EVgo will put chargers strategically at stations where we know potential customers are going to travel to. And at renovated stations, there will be amenities, lighting, plus great features like pull-through stations for those who have trailers attached to their Silverado EVs so that you don't have to go unhook the trailer and do some sort of weird maneuvering to get close to the charging port. We're talking to customers, we're talking to EV drivers and really understanding their pain points and building them into our projects. We also announced a huge collaboration with 6 other OEMs. This doesn't happen much in the industry. But we all realize that if we don't work together to build public charging, no one else is going to do it. So the IONA group is going to take the contributions from all 7 OEMs and work to build even more public charging infrastructure, over 30,000 charge points. Just yesterday, they announced the rest of their leadership team and their headquarters in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they'll be building out an innovation hub for charging experience and software services. We're really excited about this because it's going to help really grow the charging infrastructure across the US. And last but not least, I don't know if you noticed on the last slide, there was one group that had really good charging reliability. Well, we're going to all work together and move over to a single charging standard, the North American charging standard, J3400. And as we do this, we will expand access to 12,000 more public chargers on the supercharging network that our customers can access and share in that same reliability that the competition does. Huge. On the experience side, our My Chevrolet, My Cadillac apps have been rated some of the best route planners out there when it comes to finding an EV charging station. We're going to continue to improve those by putting in more options for you to consolidate payments to several charge point operators so that you only need a single app to access those chargers. Add to that the convenience of features such as plug and charge, where you don't even have to pull out your app. Once set up, working with EVgo or ChargePoint, your vehicle will know that it's at the charging station and it'll automatically deduct the payment from your account. These are some of the great innovations that we're working on that we believe will really improve that public charging reliability experience. As of today, you have over 175,000 charge points across the US and Canada accessible to you within your Blazer EV, Equinox EV infotainment system through the Google built-in. You can route, and it'll tell you, you need to stop here, you need to stop there, how long to stop for, and it'll get you from A to B. Now you take those 175,000 and start adding up the projects that we just talked about, and you are building out a huge network that will provide great access in the coming years and great reliability to customers, which will really make electric vehicle ownership within reach and help eliminate that charge and range anxiety that we talked about earlier. We're really excited about the future, and we're committed to building out public charging. But let's take a step back. So as we introduce all these electric vehicles, everyone is wondering, I know Grandma's Facebook page is wondering, how's the grid going to handle it? Because there's a lot of energy that these vehicles are going to draw from. And what we want to do is help energize that solution to make the grid more reliable. When we get asked that question, well, the grid is aging infrastructure. It's built in the 60s, slowly upgraded. It's very fragmented, right, depending on which region you're in. So there's a lot of work that needs to go in to help improve that infrastructure. And it will come over time. But we know, as we talked about earlier, some funds are easier to access, money flows out, and different utilities are going to decide how they use their investments based on their needs. Well, the electric vehicle phenomenon is not going to stop. It's continuing to grow. We think that electric vehicles can actually be part of the solution to make sure that the grid has the resiliency that it's looking for. Every electric vehicle that's out there is essentially an energy asset. that battery, when it's sitting in your driveway, doing nothing, not being charged, not putting miles per hour on the road, is an energy asset, 100 to 200 kilowatt hours. Well, why can't you, the customer, decide where you want to use it? And that's where the concept of bidirectional charging comes in. We're really excited about bidirectional charging because now you have the ability to take energy out of that vehicle when you need it the most. There's been a ton of power outages this summer alone from the crazy weather or the increased draw on the grid. You've had to go without power in your home. Maybe you have a generator. Maybe you don't. Well, if you have an electric vehicle, remember, you've got energy sitting there unused. We've just introduced the concept of bidirectional charging to our new lineup of Ultium-based electric vehicles. And by 2026, all of our vehicles will have the capability to charge bidirectionally. So instead of taking energy into the vehicle, you're now grasping that DC power directly from the battery, pulling it out, and now you can use that to power your home. That can happen today with our GM Energy product lineup. But we also see a future where you can power more than the home. And that's where we believe we are part of the solution to the grid issues. There is now potential to take that energy and possibly give it back to the grid when needed. Or you can have partnerships with utilities to determine when you should be charging that vehicle, which will help take strain off of the grid. Our GM Energy Cloud, a software-based solution, will help aggregate all of these energy assets, and we will work with utilities to figure out what the best programs are to move forward and really energize that growth. But as I mentioned, it all begins with a great product ecosystem. Just recently, we announced our GM Energy Home products. Our very first bidirectional charger, the PowerShift, capable of providing 19.2 kilowatts of AC power to your vehicle for charging. The highest AC power that's out there right now, able to charge your large battery vehicle like a Silverado EV much faster than the typical home charger. But what it adds is the capability to now discharge power directly from the vehicle. With the GM Energy Home Enablement Bundle, you can now pull 9.6 kilowatts of DC power from that battery and utilize it to power your home in the event of an outage. That power gives you the flexibility to do what you need when the power is out. But we've got even more on its way. For those that are looking for the best flexible options, we've got stationary energy storage coming later this year to complement the energy ecosystem, to give you that added need when you want to run out during an outage and not have to worry about the power going out because you're taking your vehicle. We're also going to add solar integration as well, so that if you really want to go off the grid, you can do that and create your own virtual power plant within your home. The options are endless. And as I mentioned, our entire lineup of General Motors Ultium-based vehicles, the Silverado and the Blazer, which are outside this room, plus our Cadillac products, the GMC Sierra, will all have vehicle-to-home capability by 2026. We're going to have very flexible options for customers as well, because sometimes, it might not be the right solution for you now, but we've built our system to be extremely modular. You can start with just a bidirectional charger, use it to charge your vehicle, and when you're ready, you can step up to an enablement bundle to add that resiliency within your home. Or you can opt for packages that don't include the charger at all. Perhaps you need an internal combustion engine vehicle. Well, there will be a solution for just having the stationary storage along with the enablement bundle to give you the power you need when you need it without an EV. And then solar integration coming later this year will give you the ultimate when it comes to flexibility and generating your own power. Of course, this all comes at a price, and it's comparable to the cost of installing a whole generator. Our partners at GM Financial have worked very hard to come up with financing plans so that you can now get a great monthly payment that'll ensure that you can afford it at any income level. All of this comes together within our great software experiences. Your vehicle and your My Chevrolet app allows you to control your car. Well, we've increased the functionality. With our home energy products, you can now control the energy flow within your home. You can monitor the amount of power being utilized by your car, whether it's going in or out, all through a simple interface that everyone is used to with a connected vehicle and the associated app. This app is huge because it gives you that seamless experience that we talked about earlier. This is the same app that will control your car, control your public charging payments, and now be able to monitor energy usage within your home. We've also developed an awesome e-commerce experience that starts with our GM Energy Genie at gmenergy.gm.com, where you can walk through the purchase journey and really understand what the products mean for you in your certain situation and be connected with an energy expert that knows, lives and breathes energy. They're not vehicle specialists. These are energy experts that will help guide you along through your purchase. Because this is a huge step, and we want to make sure that you are educated as much as possible and educated from the right folks who know energy. We've also partnered with professionals to help install these products so that you can get the full end-to-end experience. We've partnered with Qmerit, a national aggregator of electrical professionals across the United States that will work with you to find the optimal installation setup and cost for your home, depending on which product package you select. Qmerit will have a white glove service that will provide you with consultation, proper permitting, and make the right recommendations so that you can get your products installed in a timely manner. This is not simple electrical work. This is complex stuff. We really urge any potential customers to work with a qualified professional as they go down this journey. But we believe that by building out this e-commerce experience and integrating with a professional partner like Qmerit, we are going to have the best customer journey, not like other examples out there that are very fragmented. So we see a future where electric vehicles are going to be part of the solution. Zero crashes, zero congestion, and zero emission. At GM Energy, we're going to provide the solutions to help get us there sooner. We'd like to thank you for your time today. For those who would like to learn more, please visit our site at gmenergy.gm.com. And I just want to say thank you again to Clean Fuels and Jerry Lane Chevrolet for your partnership and bringing us here to speak with you today. Thank you.